Very good.
And I'm preparing for the last 10 days.
Okay.
And I flunked, obviously. I got 53%.
Okay.
But I
Nice.
get a good feel, like preparing for 10 days with these three topics covered.
Okay.
I get some confidence, but
Ah,
I'm not sure. But by seeing the average and the number
okay.
of people cross the
Mm-hmm.
above target,
Mm-hmm.
I feel a bit uh, demotivated. Demotivated can be exaggerated word, but still, I feel
Okay.
like I could have done better.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. See, when we start an exam like this, it takes some time for us to accommodate with the exam mindset. We are out of academics for a long time. No one has sit for the exam like this. Maybe some of you did certification. If not, you don't sit the exam like this. It takes some time, mindset to get an environment ready and your mindset to read the question carefully. When we start this test, I said that let us first prepare the environment clearly and then go for this exam. I'm going to do this for next 2-3 weeks of time for this specific batch. So in this 3 weeks, what will happen is first you will clear out your environmental problems, the problem of sitting in a place, writing an exam, focusing on, and then get into the subject, and then get into the technique of how to solve the question. Step by step, it happens. So give some time for yourself. Don't be worried about it. The second point is many of us come from an academic background where our parents always ask us how much mark you scored, how much your cousin scored. So we have been living in a world of comparison, always worried about the number. In this exam, even if you get 0 mark, I'm fine until you understood certain questions, the way of reading questions. That's very, very important. So don't worry about the marks right now. If you could spend time, if you could understand the questions carefully, I'm super happy on this. Yep. So thanks a lot for the people. Hey, by the way, I have Ramachandran here. Hey, Ramachandra, good to see you. PMP certified 2 days, 3 days back.
Hey, good to see you all. Hi, Shriram. 10 days back.
Fantastic. 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 Good. So how was your experience? You got your certificate? Feel excited?
Yeah. Really feel excited. And yeah, I was just listening to all the people here. They were telling that, okay, that marks I did get that marks. I got this one, that one, and all. But to tell to all the people, I got needs improvement in most of the marks I took. But one thing I learned from Shriram is how to tackle the question. So the way of elimination technique Shriram teaches that I used in my exam. So I attempted all 180 questions and gone through. Yes, I got the certificate finally.
That's good. That's good. So Ramachandra, you made my day. Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining. Hope everything good at home.
Yeah, Shriram, now it's getting under control.
Yeah, I'm sorry about what happened there. All should be good. Okay. We will connect again.
Sure.
Take care. Take care. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, good. Now what I'll do is let's go with the Q&A part discussion where we have to talk about questions. So I have 3 hands coming up: Pratik, Kartikeyan, Lalit. So what we'll do is we'll go one by one, and what they will do is they'll bring up the question which was so interesting or so complicated. Here, one information: we are not going to find the right answer. We are going to converse like what we do in our classes. What we do in our classes. Some says A, some says B. So we'll try to see what is A, what is B. Many don't even agree. After I explain for 5 minutes, they'll feel that guy says something, but A one is right answer. That's okay. That's okay. Completely okay. In management, that's how it is. Doesn't mean a CEO says you have to agree. It's your opinion. But let us see what PMI says, what is our mindset. Let us take it as a learning for our growth, job, and certificate. Not certificate growth plan and then certificate. Let's do that. So we'll start with Pratik. Pratik comes on my left, the first order. Pratik, would you find to share the screen? What question you want to talk?
Yeah. Hi, Shriram.
Yeah,
I'll
please
just share my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead. Let's read the question and understand what it is happening there. So person who shared the screen, you can read which question. Read the question.
Yeah, it's question number 27. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, it's visible.
So this question is, while monitoring your project performance, you notice that it is trending away from the planned schedule. To ensure that the project is delivered in alignment with the agreed upon project baselines, you perform 4 options: preventive actions, corrective actions, change request and the defect repairs.
Hmm.
So the first thing is the question is targeted to the project manager. Second is I'm just monitoring that performance, like it is a
Okay.
present
Okay.
tense. So, and the key word right now here is that it is performance is trending away from the schedule. So the question asked me to what is the next step I can perform. So
Got
for
you.
me, what as per my understanding is whenever a project is going out of the schedule, we generally prepare a catch-up plan. So how do we meet that schedule? So in that assumption, I ticked that I need to take some corrective actions to make sure this corrective actions which will be included in that catch-up plan to ensure that the project is getting in line with the schedule. And here they have written the preventive actions. Preventive actions, as in I thought that preventive actions can be taken only when there is a forward planning of the project. Right now, we are doing some backward planning kind of thing.
Okay. Okay, good. That's a good thought there. Let me also give some opportunity to the people here. Do anyone have some comments on this question if you attended? Have you? Do anyone got the same question?
Yeah, hi Sriram, I got the same question.
Okay, what was your answer?
That is the same corrective action.
Corrective action. Okay, nice. Two people are corrective. Okay, let's listen to somebody else. What is the thought there?
Shriram, I did not get this question. That means I attended the other exam or the Agile exam? I'm just confused.
Yeah. We give question paper based on a person age. So what is your age now? Below 30, above 30?
Just above 30, below 40.
If you're above 30, below 40, then it's a different question paper. Okay. Jokes apart. Question paper is shuffled. So you won't get the same question paper. Each one get a different question papers. Okay. All right. So let's go to the answer discussion here. If you go for the predictive project management, we do good amount of planning when we start the work. As the work progresses, we have to check, are we really going as per the plan? Do we need any prevention, correction, defect repair? These all comes in a process. And usually do this as part of a change management or change control board. CCB will come in and there is a recommendation to change, they'll change it. Okay, this is how it works. It's mostly on a predictive model. So the question is targeting, while monitoring your project performance, you notice some trend is happening, a trending. A trending is a continuous way of something is happening. You watch for last quarter or this quarter, something is happening. Now, if this trend continues, it is going to impact your business. It's going to impact your project. Now, what you have to do is, when you watch out a trend like this, you have to bring this back to your baseline. The baseline is something we agreed within 2 million, we'll complete this project. Within every quarter of third quarter, the project will be done. So preventive action has to be taken. What do you mean by preventive action is, I don't want the trend to continue. I want to stop this trend continuing or reduce a trend continuing. So I will start working out so that I may reduce some resources, I may add some resources, or I may reduce some scope parameters. I'll work out on some quality parameters. I'll start working on action items which can start preventing this trend continuing. Okay. This English words preventive and corrective looks closer to us. In a management, we always think everything is correction. As per management, everything is correction. Your email comes to you, you will tell, okay, somebody asked me to fix it, I'll fix it. But in the management books, they make it like this. Prevention is something you want to bring it back on track so that we are able to proceed in the baseline which we agreed with the customer. For some of us in the new batch of PMP, you have yet to hear the word baseline. Baseline means both the party agree. I'm telling that I will complete 5 requirements. For this 5 requirements, I need $2 million. This $2 million within 2 years of time. It's a baseline. We agree. We will see, are we within the baseline or going above, below baseline? We'll adjust it. Okay. Now, what could be corrective action? Corrections. Some of the mistakes happened to be corrected out, which could be of a fix, could be of a problem. Let me give opportunity to someone who already done with the PMP here. Anyone want to comment on it? Do anyone want to comment on What could be corrective action as per you, the people who completed PMP here? Do I have someone here who want to comment? Okay, let me go for it. So when you say preventive, as I said, you take an action which can be to bring back the trending factor, reduce the trending factor in your scope, schedule, cost, so that I don't want to keep trending further on that line. Okay, you write an action item, you make a measure so that your team understand it. So correction is a mistake has happened, right? Now you have to fix it. You have to, or you should done this deliverable. Instead of that, you've done a different deliverable, or there is a mistake happen on what you did. A correction is on fixing something which you should have done, but you're not done in that order. When you call it as a correction, you have to draw something like A, but you didn't draw like A. You draw like a B. Now you have to clean it up and draw like a. You are correcting it. It should be A, but it is not A. Prevention is you are forecasting something. By forecasting, I'm start reducing the resources, adding resources. There is not a mistake, but when a project happens, this is happening. In a project, trending is very common because of external factors. There is a government approval came in, some policy change happened, the cost went high. Because of COVID season, people are not coming to office. The connectivity went down. People are not working effectively. So now I have to relook at how can I make it this better. But the correction is the plan, what you made, you are not following the plan. You're going away from the plan, or you're doing something totally wrong. Now you will fix it. So this is on the correction factor. So prevention is for forecasting. Correction is what you are supposed to do, you didn't do. One more thing is there, the fourth option called defect repair. This is also part of the change management. Defect is totally you have not done what meeting the quality standards. The quality standard set in a company, you didn't meet it. So it is a defect. It has to work, it is not working. So you have to fix a defect. So answer the question, when you read this book in change management, in the integration management chapter, you will see this topic coming up there. You get more clarity. Hope you got it.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thanks, Pratik. Thanks for the question.
Thank you.
All right. Now let's go to the next question. And now who is going to share the question? I have Lalit. Lalit, please go ahead.
Yeah. 1 second. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, visible.
Okay. So, yeah, this is a full mock agile I attempted yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I got 72%, and my exam is also
Nice.
on next Sunday, 29th January.
Nice.
So this question I could not understand. Of the listed options, which best describes user stories? Now, options are again,
User story is not a use case.
Use cases, IEEE 830, support tools for analysis, and interaction design scenarios.
Okay.
So, I mean, I just hit, by my.
Yeah. This question is a little off-baked. I can see a little above the head. But it's not a use case, sure. I couldn't get a EEE 830. User stories, support tools for analysis. I can make up some explanation, but not right explanation.
Okay.
So it won't be a right explanation. So I don't think it's really telling me as a tool, but also I read in some books, they use user story as a tool to elaborate. They call us continuous exploration. What do you mean by continuous exploration is you explore what customers are looking for. The user stories and features discussion will help us to explore and analyze and understand what customer is looking for. I'm not sure this answer is really meaning that, but if I want to say, there is one thing popping up for me right now.
But can we expect these kind of bouncers in real exam?
PMI does everything, but this looks a little more offload. You should have some more detail in the question. This is so much.
And if you want us, expect from us to have 80-85% if these kind of questions come.
I know I'm a little brutal on agile exams.
Okay. Next question is like I could not find this. I have read 3 books. Agile Practice Guide, Agile, this MyGriffith, and then Essential Scrum. But there is a memory jogger describing right qualities. Then I Googled it. I have to be very honest. Then I found it correct. Invest
Economy. This is common. This is common. They use this kind of terminology in different companies, but it is not so much in Scrum, so much in Agile books. These are some of the terminologies used for easy calling out. Okay, I'm sure you may not know this. Okay, what you got in the Google? Is it from any company or any method or general term?
No, it's right. Like in general search, it was in the first page itself. It was like committed response. I thought, okay, let's. So I don't know. Product owner can be crack also.
No, you can take like this. This guy cracks the important, interesting product thing, and not a crack like that. The point is, if you see in the stories, we use a word called invest model, right? Something like that. Here they have a crack, but it is not in Agile books. It's a general term which is used in the industry.
So why you have such questions? I mean, for us to
make you to Google and read. Make you to Google and read.
But these kind of questions also come now these days. Like, it's
so hard to tell, Lalit. To be honest, you know what? 3 years back, PMI ACP exam. It won't be so depth. It will have a basic Agile questions and good intensity will be there. But after now, people are getting from different industries. Now they're trying to increase Agile quality. So we are getting questions a little out of the box also.
Okay.
Yeah, good. Thanks a lot, Lalit. I have 2 more hands there. Prashant has hands up. Yes, Prashant. Prashant.
Yes, I will share my screen.
Sure, please go ahead. Oh, here we have Prashant.
Yeah, could you see my screen?
Yeah, visible. Third question.
Yes, exactly. So, which of the following statements regarding the cone of uncertainty is correct?
Okay.
So we have the options: it flattens over time, it widens over time, it narrows over time, it drops over time. Okay. So I had opted it drops over time because as we close into the scheduling, right, closing of the project. So this was my guess. Okay, it normally should drop at some point, right? So but here it comes as narrows over time.
Okay. Have you heard this term cone of uncertainty before or first time?
First time, I would say.
First time. Okay. Then you stop sharing. I'll give one detail for you. I'll give one detail for you. What I'm going to show you. Do you see what I'm sharing?
Yes.
Okay, nice. The cone of uncertainty is a graphical depiction of increasing accuracy that is possible in estimation. I'm yet to cover. You are from current batch of PMP, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, we have
I started yesterday.
Okay, right. So we have something chapter called schedule management, which is a time management. In time management, when we talk about a predictive and adaptive model of project estimation, when you do adaptive model of project estimation, we'll start working out on cone of uncertainty, which means when we start any estimation in a project, it starts broader. And over a period of time, it starts narrowing down. Isn't it? Let us take an example of your PMP certification. Before you join this ShriLearning classes, when somebody asks you how long it will take to certify, you may or may not know. Either you give very broad or very narrow, but usually people give very broad. They will tell maybe 6 months I'll do, my next 6 months I'll do. Your senior manager asks you when you'll do PMP, maybe 6 months I'll do. But after listening to the classes, you may say, okay, maybe 5 months. And after you start preparing yourself, you get ready, you know what are the question paper model, what are the books to read, chances are your accuracy level starts getting better day by day. Is it happening? As you get closer and closer. In project estimation, this is also common. In project estimation, that too, an adaptive nature of project, initially the requirement is not at all clear because it's called adaptive. So what they do is, this is derived by Barry Boham. What he derived is saying that there are some numbers here, I'll explain in the classes. But for now, what you have to understand is, when a cone of uncertainty comes narrow, which means you start getting more clarity on the requirement, that helps us to give a better detail. And this is one of the prime reason in Agile, we don't plan everything in advance. We wait as the work progresses, we get more detail about the work, which helps our team to give better estimation. That's what is called narrowing down. Does it give some info?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Shriram.
one
Thanks.
point here.
Thanks, Prashant. Yeah. Yes.
So just on that question only, doesn't that mean drops over time as well?
Drops in the sense?
He selected the answer that drops over like there was one option. He selected that this cone of uncertainty means the uncertainty is dropping over time, and we are telling that it narrows over time. Does that that as per the picture you have shown, doesn't that mean that it is dropping as the time passes?
But the wording is different, right? It's a graph. It's a narrow. Drop means going totally down. You're meaning that from y-axis or x-axis, it totally goes direct down. Drop means directly going down. Is it going that way or it's narrowing down over a period of time?
Okay.
I know the English terms.
The problem
you
that
get a feel like that, but
same.
dropping is directly going down. Somebody is jumping into a swimming pool. Okay. Perfectly. Good. Super. Prashant is good. Let us go to, I have a few more. Vikas, Ankita, Deepika. Let's go with the Vikas. Yes, Vikas.
Hi, Shri. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, please.
This is
right.
question number 29. So
you can read through the question.
Yeah. So after 6 iterations, significant variations have occurred to project scope and schedule. These are due to customers' technology regulation and security policies, which are regularly reviewed. The project manager suggests taking a new approach to the next iteration to avoid possible delays. What should the project manager do first? So I had selected this answer, D. I was confused between D and A. B and C I eliminated. I'll tell you why, because here if I speak about option B, here it is explicitly mentioning it is about project scope and schedule. So here there is nowhere relating to cost or something. So basis that I eliminated this.
Eliminated. Very good. Yeah. Very good.
And here there is nowhere they are saying it is something related to new technology. Some regulations are coming into picture. So basis that I eliminated this as well.
Okay, makes sense. What you did is correct.
Yeah.
One asked to you, are you from agile or non-agile background?
I would say mixed agile.
Hybrid model. Currently, hybrid model.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Before we go to the right answer for this, let us see from PMI perspective. When a PMI asks this question, when you sit in an exam hall, what would be a PMI's expectation from you?
Okay.
Are they liking to see you as an agile coach, agile manager? Are they trying to see you as a project manager who direct the team? What they would be expecting from you? What could be their thought?
As a agile person, or maybe as a project manager, how would you handle such situation?
Yes. They're trying to see your mindset.
Correct.
When there is some learning is happening. Point is, your learning is happening. With this learning, what you can do best.
Correct.
Now, in the year 2023, where the market is mostly moving to hybrid model, they're trying to see, is a brain thinking, how can I take this learning forward? Okay, that's a point.
Okay.
Now, we have to see a little carefully here, the difference between retrospective and refinement. Both are different terminologies. Okay?
Correct.
Let's give the question here. In the question, after 6 iterations, significant variations have occurred to project scope and schedule. 6 iterations, could be iterations 2 weeks, 4 weeks, something has happened, but scope and schedule keep on changing. These are due to customers' technology regulations and security policies, which are regularly reviewed, which means it's not about the team thing, it's all about the customer talking something on the requirement changes.
Correct.
Up to the scenario being explained. After scenario, now they're coming to your mindset. The project manager suggests taking a new approach to the next iteration, which means there is a keep on changing happening. If we work in the same order, my team can get frustrated or my deliverable cannot be good.
Correct.
So as a manager, as a team lead, as an agile coach, as a scrum master, and some naming tag, we are going to suggest a team, hey guys, shall we think something different in a way we do it? May work or may not work. Okay, there it is.
Correct.
What should the manager do first? The word first is very important.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let us see. I divided two things now. One is first 2 lines talking about the requirement of the project. Last 2 lines talking about process of the project. Requirement, process, or you can call it as a product and process. Now, product-wise changes keep on happening. You cannot stop that. That is from customer.
Okay.
Process-wise, we can improve ourselves. How do you take these kind of changes coming inside? Okay. This is a question. Now they're setting a mindset. Okay. Now let's read the answer what you have chosen. Use a backlog refinement meeting and include the customer's change request in the discussion. Okay. So now, do you think, are we missing any requirements that is mentioned in the question?
No.
No, they didn't talk about it. Only thing they said is changes keep on coming here. Guys, you have to work it out. That is what. They didn't complain anything about you guys missed the requirement. So refinement is a place where Agile team regularly meet to talk about elaborating the requirement. So we understand the depth of the requirement, dependency of the requirement, risk of the requirement. These all we discussed there. So that is not the concern in the question.
Okay.
But my team has to learn something. So which will help me to learn? If you go to answer number A, rank the importance of each improvement items, then implement action identified during last retrospective, which means retrospective is a place we talk about how can we improve ourselves as a team to handle this dynamics of changes. Okay. So your team can be in a better place to, okay, guys, we are listening to the customer regularly. Customers keep on changing the requirement. Why don't we make a call every day once instead of doing 3 days once? Could be. I'm just saying suggestion. This could be a process improvement, process change. It is not about the product.
Okay.
If you see from that dimension, chances are instead of refinement, you will go to retrospective.
Understood.
Right. So I know this answer is a subjective. When you read the book, you will get an idea. But when you look at the exam question, some question you don't understand what these guys are asking. So those times you have to step a little back and see as an interviewer what PMI is trying to ask from me. Don't look them as an exam. As an interview table, you both sit to each other. PMI sitting in front of you, you are sitting here. They are asking this, what they're trying to see from me. Are they trying to see is my mind is ready to adapt changes? Is my mind is ready to help my team to do something rather forcing on them? Here, if you see as a manager, you didn't force them, guys, apply what they said. No. You ask them, guys, why don't we talk this retrospective? Why don't we take these points? Why don't we do this? You're just encouraging your team. And this is what Agile mindset they're looking for.
Understood. Got it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Super good.
Thank you.
Good questions. Good questions. Okay, let's quickly go to the next person. I had a few more people here. Let me see who I have. I have Deepika or Ankita, sorry. Ankita, then Deepika. Yes, Ankita.
Thanks, Sriram. I will be quickly sharing my screen.
Yeah, maybe Vikas can stop sharing. I'll help out if you have trouble. All right. Now, yes, Ankita, you can.
Please confirm once you're able to see.
Yeah, visible. Please go ahead.
Okay. So this question number 19, it talks about project stakeholder management consists of a process to identify internal and external stakeholders, determine their expectations and influence over the project, develop strategies to manage them, and effectively engage them in project execution and decision. Which one of the following is the key objective of stakeholder management? So, I selected the option, yeah.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
I selected the option as positive relationship because
nice.
not necessary every time, all the stakeholders being happy always, because there may be a chances where stakeholders do put forward their requirement, but based on the concerns of the team, it's been decided, okay, this cannot be the priority one or this may not be the requirement. That was the reason I thought to go ahead to have a positive relationship with all the stakeholders, but it don't seems to be an answer.
Okay, yeah, it's a very nice question. Let's see if anyone has any thought on this. Do anyone have a thought on this question?
We cannot keep everyone happy now, Sriram. Happy is a subjective word, right? Happy is a subjective word.
Okay, that's nice. But let's be a little careful on the question here. Okay. Which is one of the following is a key objective of stakeholder management? They didn't ask Do you need to keep every stakeholder happy or thing? They're asking the intention of management. When I write a set of stakeholders in my project, I will have 3,000 people working. I'm taking, let's say there is a dam construction somewhere. In a dam construction, I'll have 3,000 stakeholders. But in my project, on that cycle, on that phase, I may not involve with the 3,000 people. I may involve with the 500 to 600 people. I'm just giving a number. I will note down what is their requirement. I will note down what is their expectations, and I should see whether am I meeting the requirements and expectations. Okay. Happy is a very subjective word. I agree with you all, but it could be communication. It could be timely deliverables. It could be sharing documents. What they want, if I give them, that could be termed as happy as per this word. Happy in the sense what they are asking for, we should be able to deliver. If you don't deliver it, you have to justify in the stakeholder register discussion itself. This is not possible. This is possible. If not possible, why not possible? So we record it down in a stakeholder management. Even though happy is a very subjective word, the answer what we chosen with the word all, A-L-L, pretty risky. You are telling that you're going to have a relationship with all these people, which is not possible because you have a high power, high interest. Isn't it? Do you all learn that in the class? You have influencing. You have some characteristics of each stakeholder. You understand and you see, are they important in this cycle of the project, in this phase of the project? Can I spend time with them? And then if you go with that, it makes sense. Now, keeping a positive relationship, not necessary. I may have some negative stakeholders also. But Shriram, negative stakeholders, how do I keep them happy? It depends. For the negative stakeholder, you recorded some inputs, what I have to serve them. If I serve them, whether they're unhappy or happy, you give them what they want. You give it. But when you say relationship as a positive, it is a little hard for you to maintain a relationship with all. All is very risky. In that sense, I will go for the answer A, but I go with the word happy, little subjective on what they ask for. Isn't it? Make sense?
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And there is one more quick question, question number 21. It talks about a project manager consider compliance to be a part of organization's process asset. The project team, however, have decided to include a compliance as input to the relevant process rather than document these rules as requirement. What is project manager's compliance responsibility? So I went with the option C, where because the team do not want it to be mentioned as a compliance as a major part, but as a document for the input to the relevant processes. So in case if the person do not complete that compliance, there may be a risk to the process that they will be a part of. That's the reason I went ahead to perform risk analysis of compliance risk.
Makes sense. Makes sense. This is a very little tough question. I will agree it's a tough question because in our day-to-day life, we don't involve in compliance in our company. Because in an organization level, compliance are organized. Is that correct? Yeah. Your organization decides the compliance and other rules governs. They do it. Now, we don't do on a day-to-day basis. Either the program manager does, portfolio manager does, or a PMO does, or a delivery manager does. Some high-level people do this stuff. Now, the question is targeting. The project team is involving into that. However, has decided to include complaints as inputs to the relevant process rather than the document. Point is, the team is doing some action here, which I could see this team is so fluid. When I say fluid, it is not having any hierarchy. To me, when I read the question, I'm getting a feel. They don't have a hierarchy to follow. They are knowledgeable. They are capable of doing. I use the word carefully, knowledgeable and capable of doing. They're not doing just blindly. So what is the manager's responsibility? They're asking you as a manager, when your organization have some compliance and your team want to include something and do something on top of that or add to that, what is your responsibility? Are you going to be a blocker or are you going to help them? That's the question. Okay. So now, for this question, are you a blocker or a helper? I will see an answer. Any answer helps me to show that I'm a helper or a blocker. So when I see answer Let's see answer D also. Changes process asserts of the management. I don't want to do any action. D is ruled out. B, conduct audit for the I don't want to do action. B and D ruled out because I don't need to do action. They're asking you, are you going to be a helper or a blocker? So I'll see the answer C. Performs risk analysis of compliance risk. Compliance related risk analysis. Can be, but it's too early, I will tell. I don't get that feel that we need to involve now, because a team can do it better way. Because when they say team will do it, let me see the answer number 1. Acts as a coordinator for the resource and activities. I feel this answer looks like an helper who will be there. On subset of that, maybe you can do some risk related questions. You can trigger those questions. But I don't think you have to sit individually do this risk analysis of that. It's a waste of time because your team is doing already. They are bringing something there, right? They won't bring blindly. I use the word capable. They can do it. You can be there to coordinate. You can raise the right questions in the room. That you can do. So this question is a little tricky, tough question. But what I feel is this team is so fluid team. What does the justification says?
It says that being a servant leader involved in removing obstacles and implementing team, and all the other options are incorrect. Yeah, I take that one point, because whenever we do a risk analysis, it's the whole team that do it together. It's not only the project manager. So maybe that can be one way where we can eliminate point C, because it's not only the project manager who will do this activity. It will be the team who will be doing it.
But provided we have to be a little careful, the team should be capable enough. Not every organization has such a capable team to do in compliance, which is a little sensitive area. So when they explain this question, I get a feel this team is so capable, and the manager just be there, help them. That's sufficient. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
That's a good ask. I appreciate it. All right. And from, I think we spoke Ankita right now, right? So let's go to Deepika.
Hi, Shriram.
I'll help Ankita to stop sharing. Let's go to Deepika. Yes, Deepika.
Yeah, hi. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, before Deepika comes on, the people who are here in the group, are you people feeling some of the questions you would have seen, or some of the questions opening your thought process while you listen this? Is it helping you?
Yes, Shriram. Yes.
Okay. Did we learn in the class that how to read a question? Can somebody recall how to read a question, the points what we discussed?
Identify who has been targeted.
Very good.
What tense it is.
What tense it is.
Very good.
What is the key points, key factors, key points.
Very good.
And
One
the
more?
elimination techniques.
Nicely said. Nicely said. But you all feel elimination technique, is it easy to quickly remove 2 items or taking time?
Time for me.
Easy to eliminate one option easily.
Okay. Okay. Nice. But one last ask before I go to Deepika. After you eliminate an answers there, are you reading the question again?
I read again, but then it was killing my time as well. So
it is okay.
I rushed.
Yeah. Initially, it is okay. So imagine when you started driving the car, when the car gearbox or acceleration or multiple things, it takes time for a brain to accommodate. We don't know whether to see this, see that, rear mirror, all will be explained by the coach. But after some time, subconsciously, your brain starts working, where the gearbox is, how to use acceleration. So when you start taking the exams now, don't too much worry about the time. Work out on the process. That's the reason we are simulating the proctor exam here. Work out on the process first. Clearly understand how the process works. Slowly, over a period of time, you will improve. Okay, coming back on topic here. After eliminating some answers,
we are at need improvement right now.
That's okay. That's okay. Be happy that you are able to attend all the questions. Be happy at least you got 1 or 2 answers correct, which is good actually. Now, last topic before I go to Deepika. After you eliminate answers, please read the question one more time. Now, your brain really process faster because you have only 2 answers to target. It works really well. Okay, let's go to Deepika. Yes, Deepika.
Yes, Shriram. Actually, this question is, you have been assigned a project manager for the new project. The goal of the project is to cut down the production cost of raw materials in the next 6 months so that company can lower the price of goods and obtain a competitive advantage. According to the feasibility report, there are a couple of feasible approaches that have been analyzed and that can result in reasonable cost savings. What is the problem with the objective? So I went with it is not attainable because I understand like production cost of raw material may be equally reduced for the competitors as well. But the correct answer, it is not measurable. So what could be the...
Okay. Are we clear on this term? Specific, measurable, attainable,
like
smart?
In general sense.
Okay. Okay. Let me put the question to audience also. Have anyone used this in your appraisal system? Or have you used this in any project management system about the smart way of doing?
Yes, in the appraisal system.
Yes, the goals like
we use it. Okay, let's leave this question. Go by the goal of your appraisal system or anyone appraisal system. How the smart word will be targeted? Specific means what is specific? There is a new employee joining a company. What is specific for him? Could be on any deliverables or could be on learning anything, new technology.
Yes.
I'm trying to see, leave this question. When you read this question, it's if your brain will think these guys are targeting smart. A person used as smart, chances are you easily connect. So the conflict is between attainable and measurable. Very good. So now in the question, do you see a problem of attainable is not properly written or measurable is not properly written? When you say measurable, do you think some numbers should be there?
Yes, the goal is just to cut down. It is not mentioned by how much percentage or...
You're telling that I want to stay fit. Fantastic. Right. Is it attainable? Yeah, within 6 months, I can attain it. 6 months, where is the number? From where it's coming? And is it measurable? Yeah, when I say fit, I should be this much of kgs of weight. So now you should have something attainable. It means your goal should be smart enough. You should not set a goal that I will have 6 packs, 8 packs, if possible, but certain things attainable, the range, we should understand that. But they're asking here is attainable, but you read the question, let me know, is this target attainable for this team? That can be reasonable cost saving. Do you see that word, reasonable cost saving, which is attainable? Possible?
Yes.
Okay, last but one sentence says that according to the feasibility report, there are a couple of feasible approaches that have been analyzed that can result in reasonable cost saving. Very good. What is the problem with this objective? Everything is good, but where is the measure? Where is the number? What do you want to say there?
We need to evaluate it as a smart objective. This is what...
Exactly. They're parting a smart part. When you read the question, they're trying to see, are you aware of smart way of doing things? So since today you learned it, next time when you see this kind of question or any mart, your brain will easily connect with smart. But Shriram, I'm not seeing this in a book of PMP. PMP, you will see team formation. I think day before classes, we talked about smart. In the I'm not sure whether you're about this current batch. If you're in current batch, we discussed about how to form a team. In the form teaming, we should have a team which we have to see the knowledge of the team in a smart way, right? So it is not smart is a new word. It is in the industry for a long time. But after kind of analyzing this question, you will go back and read what is a smart clearly.
Okay.
Next time when you get a question like this, you'll easily answer it.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Super good. All right. Let's go to the next person. Whom I have. Anyone else have a question? Himanshu is there. Yes, Himanshu.
Yeah. Hi, Shriram. I'm just going to share my screen. Give me 1 second.
Okay, good. Well, the scores are coming up good.
Yeah,
What did on scores are okay?
60%.
Good. Feel happy.
All good. Not so much. I was expecting more. But
okay, before Himanshu, I'll ask the people here. What score will make you guys happy? Let me see your chat box. Be very honest. Tell me what's
about
you can,
most of the questions were like related to Agile, so not sure what would be the correct.
Okay, I saw one person say I need a 90%, then I'll be happy. One says 80, 75%. Vivek says it should be pass. That was what Okay, 90. Mostly I'm seeing 90, above target 70%. I really like the ambition, really good. But one thing you have to understand, in management, scores will take time. I'll be honest on this. You may come from a background where science background or mathematics background, the scores happens by deriving the solution and getting an answer. In management, little tricky, even a one English word will change. For example, stakeholder, just now we saw, the word all will differentiate all the answers. It takes a little time for you to get that level of score, 90%, but possible. So I appreciate all your ambitions. Keep working. Okay, let's go to Himanshu. Yes, Himanshu.
Yeah. So I have this question number 34. So the question is, at the end of an agile project, all stories are completed on schedule and all tests are passed, but the customer does not consider the product a success. Which is the most effective way to prevent this outcome in future projects? Option number A, ensure that the product vision is approved by the customer before developing the backlog. Option number B, agree with the customer on success criteria to be included in the definition of done. Option C, collect customer feedback on incremental release demos and user tests. And option number D, ensure that the best plan includes non-functional requirements in the backlog. Now, again, I went with the same approaches of first reading the question properly, understanding the persona or the person we're talking about, then considering the tense, and then elimination technique. Yeah. So this was an easy elimination, like option D was easily eliminated because non-functional requirements are really poles apart, so that you can easily take it out. I was basically confused in option B and C. Option number A also is something which is about talking about product vision. So it's a bit, out of focus in terms of considering the product success, right? So product vision is a bit vague in terms when you define product success, and if you want to categorize also completed on schedule and all those things, so it's still pretty blurred. So product vision still doesn't make sense, so I've taken it out as well. I was confused between option B and C. Now the reason I preferred B over C was that because I saw the clue. Now again, this is based on some of the assumptions, because I've not done the complete study as you're suggesting, Shriram, the formal studies. So what I was assuming here is that, but the customer does not consider the product a success. Because the customer doesn't consider this a success, I was under the assumption that we need to document the success criteria in the definition of done, so that if we could improve this part, then this would be a right way to prevent this in the future projects.
Okay, I can help you. Nice. Super. First, let's understand what is in the question asked for. The question is explaining a situation, a project has been completed, but the customer is not happy. Very good. But the question is asking what? Tense. Is it asking for a current or future? The question is asking for the future. Which is the most effective way to prevent this outcome in future projects. It could be same customer, some other customer. First thing, it is not for the same customer. It could be different customer also. They didn't tell for the same customer, right? Which is the most effective way to prevent this outcome in future? Now let's go back to the mindset. Now PMI is sitting in front of you in a desk. A guy who is interviewing you from PMI, asking you this question. I agree something has happened. Okay, good. Happened has happened. What is next? When he asks you what is next, what you will tell there? Are you going to tell that I'm going to document it? Or are you going to tell that better I understand my customer in future so I don't come across this problem? Probably you'll go for the second answer.
Answer, yeah.
But here you have to be a little more careful. You may not be aware of the term called definition of done. Right? So definition of done. Have you used the definition of done anytime?
Yeah, in the while writing the acceptance criteria in the user stories, and while defining the definition of done and doing a sprint, that when do we consider a user story to be done? Like
Fantastic.
it has to be tested and all that.
Fantastic. I have some bunch of people who may not use Agile heavily. So give information to them. Definition of done is derived when the project starts by the project team or the organization team. What it means is a user story is considered as done only when it is developed, tested, and properly deployed. A release is completed as done only when it is deployed to the customer and customer is using it and no issues for the next 2 months. A product is totally completed as a done. Definition of done means the product is a handover, knowledge transition is given, the product is usable for last 3 months without any error. Like this, for everything, we can write a definition of done of a 1 paragraph, 2 paragraph bullet points and keep in our company document, which will be agreed with both the party in the beginning of the project, middle of the project, wherever you want to do. But the point of keeping a definition of done is, it is an agreed deal between both the party. What do you mean by something called completed? That's the intention. Now let's read the answer here. Agree with the customer on success criteria to be included in the definition of done. This is a really beautiful point. This can be done. By writing this in future also, we can reduce some factors about the success criteria. But here, more than this, the most powerful statement is C. What it means is, collect customer feedback on incremental release. When I say incremental, do you think it is a one time in a project or multiple times?
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. So when I am serving food in a hotel, imagine I am a bearer who want to serve the food. Where family is having a food. Every time when I go and serve them on the food on the table, I'll ask them, is the spice is good? Is everything is fine? Can I help you anything? If it's too much of disturbing, I'll just keep quiet. I can get from the cues. Look at the look, what they see. In the hotels, many times you turn back and just put your hands up. Somebody quickly walk and say, how can I help you? Which means there is a guy who's keep looking for what I can do better for the people. Now that mindset Agile is looking for. That mindset PMI is looking for. Are you ready with the mindset like a hotel bearer or hotel manager who just stands with the blazer and stand near of the door, keep looking at people? If somebody just puts their hands up, they go, hey, sir, how can I help you? We need to reduce this air condition pretty much cold here. Okay, we'll do it, sir. So now the point is, am I regularly in touch with them? If I do that, chances are I may try to solve what they want that can increase my success ratio. That is what they're trying to see for the future. On top of that, if you add some success criteria and definition of done, I'm sure it will help. Nothing stops you. But more than that, the mindset ask here is, are you ready to take this input? Helps you?
Yep.
Perfect.
That's helpful. Yep.
Oh, all right. Time shooting up. Let's go to whom we have. Mohini. Yes, Mohini. Please go ahead.
I'll share my screen.
Please. Right, good. And yeah, we want to talk this for a 1 hour of time. So we are doing it. Maybe we'll take one more question, then we will wind up our Q&A. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I just wanted to talk about the 7th question, wherein it says the project manager is preparing a charter for a project. Project aim to automate 30% of project testing. Project sponsor advises the project manager to assign a senior test engineer to identify the test that can be automated. The test department manager, however, is not cooperative, but they believe that the project will lead to downsizing in their department. And 2 actions which will be suitable for this scenario. So I was not able to understand the first one, and what I selected was having a meeting with the test department manager to discuss the mutual expectation, which I felt this is correct, so it is fine. The next,
it's one of the tough question. Okay.
The next one which I felt was that if I'm discussing, definitely I'll talk about that. Okay, this is what is my the benefit or the cost benefit analysis, and since I'm automating it, this is what I'm deriving it basically with all the data points, and that's the reason I selected C. But then when I saw this, I was confused that.
Okay, nice question. This question,
even I selected the same way Rohini selected.
Yeah. This question is a little tricky question. I have seen this before. I remember maybe 3-4 months back I've seen it. If my memory is good, I'll recall what I discussed. This question, if you read, the first sentence says the project manager is preparing the charter for a project. Is this project started, running, or yet to start?
Yet to start, actually.
Yet to start, because we are just preparing a charter now.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
The project aims to automate 30% of the product testing. Very good. Automation testing 30%, 70% manual testing. Fantastic. The project sponsor advises the project manager to assign senior test engineer to identify the test that can be automated. Now I'm asking some people to assign. Advisors to, not assign, advisors to assign somebody who can identify the tests and can be automated. Within watch this 30%. 30% can be automated. For that 30%, what all test cases to be automated, you have to find somebody to do it. Now the test department manager, however, is not cooperating because they believe that the project will lead to downsizing in their requirement. A department manager has, test department manager has both manual automation testing, engineers are working with them. But bringing this can downsize. It's a general feel in a department. Okay, it's a very nice, real problematic situation in the company. Which two actions are suitable in this scenario? Let's go with the one action which we all agree. Which one we all agree? The first one? Or which one we agree? We agree with the first one.
Having the meeting, yeah.
Have a meeting with the test department manager, discuss mutual expectations. We have to sit with them and talk, guys, we understand downsizing. In the sense, we are going to have a couple of resources we need, and this resource will sit and do for the 30%, what all can be automated. This guy can assess and let me know. That'll be nice. That's what may happen discussion. Okay. Let's go to the answer, which is conflicting here. The answer which we have chosen is present data-driven. Watch out, present data-driven. Cost benefit evidence of test automation to the test department engineer. This is a really good answer, but from where you are going to get the data for the project which has not started?
Not started. Now I got it.
Oh,
cost benefit evidence. You can bring something.
The last line of the explanation, last line of the explanation, it's written that one way of doing this is presenting the data that supports the business decision. So I think that's what it's confusing to me as well.
Sorry, repeat the sentence again.
So in the explanation, if you see, Shriram,
the explanation went on. Okay, I meant to go to explanation. Read the explanation.
One way of doing this, the last sentence in the explanation, one way of doing this is presenting the data that supports the business decision. So I think that contradicts with the answer. Yeah.
Business decision, nothing to be, business decision can be anything, right? That data, I can even use it for the first answer, A. Mutually, I'm talking with my test engineer saying that, guys, don't worry, business decisions are there. We have more projects coming up, more automations are coming up. So we may not lose a lot of resources. It's a business decision data, could be any data. But the answer C is very specific. Present data-driven cost benefit evidence. From where I'm going to get the evidence here? Rather, look little below. Raise a risk that the senior test engineer will not be available for testing. Because the department manager is unhappy, there is a risk I may not get that guy to continue my project. It could be a high-level risk, which I can write in the charter.
But wouldn't that lead to breach of trust? Like you on the back, you're going and raising a risk on the behalf of the test manager.
No. Nothing sentiment here. We talk to each other. They're telling that you sit and talk with the department manager. They didn't tell they agreed, right? They talk. It could go good and bad. It's good to write in the risk register. Nothing wrong here. No sentiments here. No personal things, right? In a project, the manager is unhappy. Unhappy is unhappy. You note it down. What is wrong there?
Same thing, actually, even I felt that, how we can write that as a risk.
It's a risk, right? If a manager is unhappy, you're doing a mutual expectation discussion. That doesn't mean he or she has to agree. He can disagree. She can disagree. We don't know. But a risk is a risk. If they don't give him as a resource, what he will do? Even today, they'll give. 2 months later, they're going to raise a concern. It will be a problem. So you noting down is not a thing. Later, the risk will go down. Today, it looks a big risk. After 2 months, things works better. Risk can go down. But at present, it looks like a risk. That too, you're preparing a charter. At a high-level charter, you write down, could be test engineers, unavailability can be a trouble. You will write it down. Right? Let tricky question, isn't it? Makes us to think. Makes us to think.
And Shriram, can it be E also like work with the project sponsor to create a project charter that the test department manager will not perceive as a threatening?
Let me read the answer again. Work with the project sponsor to create a project charter that the test department manager will not perceive as threatening. What is threatening here? I couldn't see that word threatening coming up in this question. It's a discussion.
Because
downsizing.
Threatening of downsizing. He's not cooperative, so maybe just to find a way out.
But now only you are doing threatening by doing with a sponsor. You are trying to put a pressure through the sponsor.
No,
But
maybe like we may discuss like instead of 30% automation, we can go down to 20% or maybe.
Possible. That is what you're doing in the answer A. Have a meeting with the test department manager,
Correct.
discuss mutual expectation. That you're doing there.
Correct. But when we are saying that it's a risk that senior testing engineer will not be available, it's like we are confirming that they will not be available. Though being company's employee, they have a liability to work.
Yeah. One thing you have to understand about the risk. Risk is a future event, may or may not happen.
Right.
It is always good to write. Nothing wrong in writing. Don't take anything sentimental here, or don't take anything emotional here. It's something you're writing.
No,
Tomorrow you
yeah,
resign
that is okay. But the sentence is the senior testing engineer will not be available. So we are certifying that, or maybe confirming that the testing engineer will not be available for the testing.
I think you didn't get the point. I said raise the risk.
Okay.
Risk is a future event, may or may not happen. In a Google weather, it says tomorrow it will rain. Are they confirming, or are they telling it may happen?
Okay.
They're telling it may happen. Tomorrow again you search the internet, Google says it won't rain. You don't bother because it's a prediction. A risk is always a thought process which may or may not happen. In a project, you have to write it down because today you are a project manager. Imagine tomorrow morning you resigned. You're not in the company. How do people know that such kind of risk was evolving there?
Correct.
It is not you are the same guy going to be in the company all the day. You may fly to another country. You may go to a different project. You may write the charter, but you move for different project. The point is what you discuss, you have to be in a document also so that the next team can pick it up. For that reason, they record it. Nothing wrong in it. Recording it, nothing wrong. But you will put it's a low priority, high priority. You'll write it down. That is why there is something called P into I, probability into impact. What is the probability of this happening? Less probability. What is the impact? High impact or less impact? We'll write it down. By doing this, we'll reduce it. But risk writing is a nature in a project. Regularly, we write it down.
Okay.
Fantastic. Good. All right, guys. I think we are good with the time. We have to go for the class. Let's see if anyone have a question. Oh, sorry. Any other question you have? Himanshu or who is this talking? Mohini. Yeah.
No.
You have any other question?
No, Shriram.
No, good. Fantastic, guys. All good. Oh, I have last one question. Banerjee, please go ahead.
One last question, Sriram.
Yeah, go ahead.
The mock test which are given in the communication board, I mean, whether we should go with this test right now or gradually we will complete the classes after that we can take the mock tests.
You mean the full mock exams?
No, not full mock exams. There are certain mock tests given in the communication board.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Do we need to attend those questions now or whenever?
I don't think now you have to do it. Yeah, gradually to do it. What you said is right. Gradually.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Fantastic. First ask and appreciation to all the people here for taking this exam. I hope this exam was useful for you. Was it a useful one? Did you got some info today?
Yes.
Very useful.
Yes, reality check.
It's like ice breaking.
Icebreaker. Okay, nice to good. Thanks a lot for first participation. There were some hiccups. We will fix all the things. All will be good for you. And what I'm expecting from you, I'll tell you, we will follow this for a few weeks of time. Let's continue. The way you answer today, I'm sure within 2 weeks will be totally different. The way you ask the question, the way you look at the question will change. The same set of people today who took exam, in 3 weeks from now, if you are continuing the same process, I'm sure you're super ready. And we all hit the main exam, close it as early as possible, right? So I'm happy that you all participated. Your confidence level gone little high. For some of you, score doesn't come up well. Don't feel bad. I'll repeat again. Don't think of a scores right now. Let's see how to see the question. I'm trying to show you how to see the question, telling that look at this keyword, read the sentence carefully, and telling that what PMI is looking for, PMI mindset. Imagine there is a guy sitting in front of you, interviewing you this question. How do you answer? Over a period of time, it will improve. Some of you feel that, Shriram, it took 3 minutes to read a question, man. I'm so tensed. Initially, that's how it is. And then it will improve. Then you start reading better. Your concept goes better, right? Good. Any thoughts, points to be listened? Fantastic.
We have just reached to base camp. One day we will climb Mount Everest.
Oh, what a philosophy there. I like it. We will meet in next 20-30 minutes. I have 30 minutes, right? Okay, I'll catch up some food and I'll come for the classes. We'll start our PMP sessions. We rock the show today. And people from different batches who joined here, I appreciate your time. And we're going to continue this process. And thanks a lot for everyone supporting. Next Sunday, again, the same process continues. Now go ahead, take rest, and join the classes in a few minutes. Thanks a lot to people watching from YouTube also. Bye-bye. See you in a few minutes.
Thanks, Sriram.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Shriram.